Does sugar seem to have your number? Oh my word. This came up so often when I was on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram talking about sugar, and actually had someone in my LinkedIn audience who spurred last week's video and this week's video on sugar and what to do about it, how to cut back. And then somebody asked, how do I have willpower and discipline around it? And I said, that's going to be part 2. That's what we're going to tackle today. Welcome, I'm Sheri Traxler with Nourish Life, author of Go Forward, 28 Days to Eat, Move, and Enjoy Life, God's Way. 3 steps to overcoming a sugar craving, a sense of, I've got to have more, I've got to have more. And it's actually not about willpower and discipline per se, but you do have to use a little bit of discipline around it. It's not a sense of, I've got to stay away from sugar though. What are the 5 reasons that you tend to feel this overwhelming urge around sugar? First reason is it's simply a mindless habit. You go through the living room and grab another handful. Second reason, that anger, that stress, that boredom, that needing something to soothe. And so you're in the pantry scrounging around, trying to soothe the emotion, trying to deal with the anger, deal with the boredom. Let's see what's up here. Third reason, this is something I talked about recently at a conference, and I will link that for you. And it is fear of deprivation. When you have been on again, off again dieting, there is this sense of, I don't know when I'm going to let myself have it again. And so instead of having 2 pieces of chocolate or a couple of bites of cake or pie and being like, oh, that's good, I'm satisfied, it's, I better go ahead and have it now because I don't know when I'm going to let myself have it again. Number 4. This one is all about the taste and chasing the wow. One of the things that I want you to notice is taste diminishes over time. And at the end of this, I'm going to give you some experiments. I'm going to jump ahead now and give you one. If you are sensing, I'm going after that wow taste that I had at the beginning, you know, that first bite of something that's really sweet, it's like, oh my goodness, this is the best ever. And then you keep wanting that same sensation. Guess what? You're not going to get it. And number 5, this is more physiological, that when you have sugar by itself, meaning a food that is a high sugar food, candy, something like that, oh, you are going to crave it because it's going to spike your blood sugar, drop your blood sugar, and then you're going to be wanting to get that energy back again, so you go for more sugar. 3 steps to overcome your sugar craving. Step 1, identify the reason. Step 2, simply pause and decide ahead of time. Decide right now. Can you sit with a craving, with an emotion for 60 seconds, for 2 minutes, for 5 minutes, for 10 minutes? Decide ahead how long you're going to pause before giving in to that craving. Step number 3, act on the truth. And in a moment, I'm going to share with you the truth around all 5 reasons. Step 1, identify your reason. Step 2, pause. And step 3, act on the truth. What is the truth? That's step number 3, is act on the truth. So what is the truth? For these 5, mindless practices versus mindful practices. The truth is you can train yourself to be mindful around food. A friend of mine mentioned that after the initial sugar post that we did on social media. Side note, if you have not connected with me on social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, let's connect. She said that as she would go through and get a chocolate covered pretzel, she made a mental note and she savored it and enjoyed it, and it was more satisfying. The truth around soothing with food, sad news for you, Food is never going to satisfy an emotion. There are ways to process emotions, and food is not it. The fear and deprivation, the truth about that is, okay, that one's really going to take some work. So I do encourage you to watch the video from the conference. And it is something that as you are journeying as an intuitive eater, you'll get less and less of that fear of deprivation and more a feeling of safety that the food is always going to be there. You can have it anytime that you want. You're not going to deprive yourself. That's something we absolutely can work on, and I have several videos in my playlist that can help you with that. The truth about craving that initial taste again, I mentioned it before, it's not going to happen. Whenever you have that initial 1, 2, 3 bites, your tongue gets acclimated to that, so to speak, and you're not going to get that again until you are physically hungry again and you've had a break from food. And the truth about your blood sugar spiking and dropping, use that as a way of knowing I can have something sweet, but I can have it after a balanced meal. Now you know the reasons, you know the 3 steps of dealing with the cravings. Now what? Simple. Over the next 24 hours, here's my challenge to you. Be sure to pay attention to what your reason is. Begin to notice what's the big reason I crave sugar and have trouble stopping. And after you have subscribed and click that notification bell, put in the comments what reason resonates with you, and most importantly, how you're going to pause and how you are going to act on the truth. Thanks so much for being here. Again, remember to subscribe and click that notification bell. Until next time, find your path and fulfill your potential.